Good morning. My name is Jayme Prenger, and I am the director for the Missouri Women's Business Center. And today our program is going to be about the shops at Sharpen. So I'm going to turn this over to our program manager for the shops at Sharpen, Tanisha.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanisha Simpson, and I am the program manager for the shops at Sharpen downtown, located at 500 East Walnut Street, Suite 109. It's good to be here today.
All right, we're going to try and figure out how to share our screen and share our program with you. Give me just a second to get that up.
We've got it. I see it.
Okay, great.
Great. So as I said, the Shops at Sharpen is our new local retail incubator for small minority small business owners in Columbia, Missouri. It's located at the corner of 5th and Walnut, 500 East Walnut, Suite 109. Oh, shoot. There you go. Okay. The Shops at Sharpen is actually a was founded by the partnership of the following organizations: the District Downtown, CID, Central Missouri Community Action, and READY, which is the Regional Economic Development Corporation. Our mission. The vision is to highlight innovative and creative retail businesses in a collaborative gathering space where passionate entrepreneurs come together, connect with the public, share their ideas, and grow their businesses. The mission is to reduce barriers to entry for low to moderate income individuals and minoritized populations who desire to start new retail enterprises by help them to become financially viable, freestanding, successful business owners through participation in the Retail Incubator Program. The history of the Sharpen. Sharpen in Columbia, Missouri was a historic African-American district that thrived during the mid-20th century. It was a vibrant hub of Black culture and entrepreneurship, featuring numerous businesses, jazz clubs, and community gathering spaces. Sharpen served as a testament to the resilience and creativity of the Black community in the face of the racial segregation. Though it was eventually displaced by urban renewal projects in the 1950s and 1960s, its legacy remains an integral part of Columbia's history, symbolizing the enduring spirit of the local African-American community. Are any of you familiar with the Sharpen? Okay, all on mute. Okay.
So we're going to see if we can get this to play. Oh, let's go back. Give us just a second. We have a video to show you guys. Give me just a second. Sorry. Technology is not always our friend.
Showing a video on Zoom can be a little hanky. We've had this, we at Muleskinners have experienced this a couple times.
Thank you.
It's not just you.
Let me show you how we do stuff around here.
Oh, we'll have it ad and then we'll get
Monday.com, so I'm good. Work managed.
We aren't seeing the share screen anymore. I think you need to share your screen.
Okay, sorry.
I know. No, you wouldn't know unless I told you.
Thank you. Can you see it now?
We see it. Let's see if it'll go.
Can you see it, Sarah?
It's moving, but I don't think we have sound. Dave Taylor, do you remember what the trick was? Wasn't there some trick to making the sound come through?
Dave Taylor, we need some help.
If he knows.
Sorry, I got called away for a second. What's the problem?
So we're trying to watch this short video and the sound is not coming through. Do you remember how we fixed this last time? It was in the sharing settings or something?
Yeah, there's a setting in the
Shares, it's like share
video.
screen.
You click.
Is it advanced sharing? No. My options are different than your options.
Click on the one that's being pointed to right now. The triangle on the left. Well,
We've had this happen before where the video plays, but there's no sound.
It's a Zoom setting at
It's-
the
yeah.
users at the providers end. Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we can just watch it with the subtitles because we can read it.
Oh,
That's
It
true.
wouldn't be
The
the end of the world.
subtitle looks fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Can
want
you
to try
still,
that?
can you still see it?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
seeing the parking garage corner.
Okay.
Can you start it over though?
Yes, please.
Or is that too much trouble?
No, it's
Nope, here we
going.
go. All right, here we go.
Sharpie was known throughout the whole country.
It was
There it
vibrant,
is.
and then allowed a lot of people to become independent and self-sustaining.
My brother and I got a haircut every other Friday on Sharpie. There were certain dress codes. One of the stories is that it's called Sharpie because people had to be really sharp. I played in the band for 4 years, and we played there 3 or 4 times. If we hadn't have done this, then all of those stories about Sharpie would have disappeared right along with it.
Sharpton was our main street before integration. It was just as important to us in this area as Broadway was to everybody else on the other side. Sharpton disappeared before we got here, but that's okay. We know Sharpie.
I was the originator of the whole project, along with Mike Brooks, who headed up Ready at the time. I said, we've got this issue that's been hanging out here with the sharp end that's been around for a long time. And the people, the family members whose mothers and fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers own businesses there, that's still a sore point.
My mom opened a restaurant on the north side, which was adjacent to the pool hall. It was called Vice Cafe, and it was a home-style restaurant. She catered to whoever came in. I was drafted. In my absence, Sharpton was removed.
Well, doing urban renewal, everybody that left Sharpton when they tore it down was not able to reestablish themselves. Especially the people who owned homes and they purchased their homes. Because a lot of the people that they purchased their homes, they were older people and they couldn't buy another one. They also tore down homes that were not substantial, but they just happened to be within the program.
The letdown was that when they started developing that land, they promised that there would be other places available to buy and rent, but it turned out not to be true. Prices were exorbitant, and just the ability to make that transition was spoken of, but it never really came to fruition.
When this project first started, one of the ultimate objectives was to educate young people about Sharpton's success so that they would understand 2 important lessons. Number 1, that this is part of who they are. And number 2, that they can create a renaissance of Black-owned businesses in our community.
We need to be able to get people's voices and their memories about the area while they're still here. If we would have waited 15 years, 10 years, we would have lost a lot of community members who told us valuable stories about Sharp End and what it meant to the community.
I think it's good for the younger people to learn about Sharp End because it's history. You know, when you say that there were Black doctors, Black lawyers, this kind of thing in this community today, you know, people look at you and say, you're crazy, where are they? But those were here.
All right, 1 second and we'll get back to our presentation here.
So cool to see my old friend Kenny Green.
Yeah.
Flipping between things is a little hard, sorry. All right.
Okay. That was a very good video. I love that video. Fast forward to today. The three entities that I mentioned before have come to create this retail incubator, and it's called the Shops at Sharp End. The managing partners, again, are the Downtown District, CID, Central Missouri Community Action, and Ready. And they, Downtown District does promotions and does the marketing for the Shops at Sharp End. Central Missouri Community Action provided the staffing, and the Ready Regional Economic Development provided the space. And so collectively they came together and created the Shops at Sharp End. With an ARPA grant from Boone County, I was hired, and I had a very, very strong connection to this project in this program. I have 20 plus years of retail experience, and retail was my passion. So that first and foremost gave me the want to go to be a part of this program. Upon learning about the Shops at Sharp End, it resonated with me because I am from an historical Black community in St. Louis called Meacham Park, which is located in Kirkwood. Just like the Sharp End here in Columbia, our community had its own Black area where we had our own schools, taverns, cab service, fire station, grocery store, and much more, just like the Sharp End. So it really hit home for me. When I learned about what the Sharp End was, I've been in Columbia for 20 plus years, and I actually did not know about the Sharp End, but when I learned about what the Sharp End was, it hit me right in my heart because I am familiar. If you can see on this slide, there's the first school in the neighborhood that I'm from, and the grocery store actually in Meacham Park where I'm from. So it was very familiar to me. The story of the Sharp End was very familiar to me. And so that's what made me want to be a part of this program and take this job on to help our entrepreneurs. I believe that Columbia is headed in the right direction by honoring the past of the Sharp End. We have the opportunity here in Columbia to be able to do that. I unfortunately don't have that opportunity because big box retail stores were built on our land. And my goal to be as the retail manager for the Shops at Sharp End is to help with the economic growth of Columbia by helping the entrepreneurs on their journey to a successful business. We had our soft opening on December 15th and 16th. And that was our first day opening. We were a little nerved, but it actually went over very, very well. We had lots and lots of community members come out. At that point in time, we had 19 vendors at that point in time. And we have 17 currently and more that are applying each day. So we look forward to adding more vendors to the Shops at Sharp End. And here are a few photographs of and some of the vendors' products that we offer.
So, and during this time, you're going to see soon some pictures of the grand opening. So between the time of the soft opening and the grand opening, we were really working through like internal processes. And as Tanisha has shared, this is a program that they are a part of. It's not just come in and have your inventory in the shop. They receive business coaching. They have workshops that they attend. We're really helping them to think through of how to market their products and what's gonna work well. They're able to test the market through this time period. So it was a lot of learning for us between the soft opening and the grand opening, because this itself was kind of like opening its own business all together, and we were working with multiple vendors to bring all of these different products to the shops at Sharp End.
As Jayme stated, we have had a lot of events happen and all positive. I actually was in the Tribune before we actually opened, and the Tribune had done a story on the shops at Sharp End and my history and where I come from. We have a picture of Miss Annelle Witt, that is James Witt's wife, that and he had the idea of the Sharp End, and so the three entities actually brought that to fruition. And then just the other day, the something very, very exciting on the corner of 6th Street, 5th Street, 6th Street and Walnut. We had added the historic Sharp End signs were added to the street signs the other day. So it's giving that piece of history back to Columbia, and that recognition of the Sharp End back to Columbia and the community. On January 31st, we also had our grand opening and ribbon cutting with the support of the Chamber of Commerce in Columbia. We had an amazing turnout, lots and lots of people that joined us that day. We had speakers, Miss Barbara Harrell, which is a Sharp End Heritage Committee member. We had Darren Priest, which is our executive director here at CMCA. Stacy Button also spoke, and Nikki Davis. She is the executive director at the downtown district. We had plenty of community support. So we definitely, it was a very successful event, and a lot of people that came in, and they got to learn about the Sharp End and actually meet a lot of the participants of the program, the entrepreneurs that are starting their small businesses, and get to take a look at their products and things like that. So I think it was very, very beneficial for them in their business growth.
Yeah, this picture here is the ribbon cutting that we did with the chamber. You can see the mayor and Kip Kendrick right there in the middle, and then Tanisha there in the green. But it was exciting for us to have all of these figures from our community come and be a part of this. So if you weren't able to attend, it was something that was very monumental for the community of Columbia.
And here's some extra photos of the grand opening. Of course, myself and Miss Barbara Harrell, which is the Sharp End Heritage Committee. The slide next to that one at the top is a list of the vendors that we have in the shop, the participants that are small business owners that are participating in the program. And from the mezzanine area, you can see how many people were there, and how crowded it was in the space. But we did it was an amazing, great day, lots of community connection, and very getting to introduce our participants to the community, which they probably otherwise would have had to find other avenues to get their business out there. What you can expect in the future from the Sharp Ends. In the future, we look forward to having at least 40 vendors in the shops at Sharp End. We have plenty of space, and we offer an orientation class every third Tuesday of the month. And this is for minorities, but it's also for everyone. I do want you all to know that. So if you know of someone that has a small business, encourage them to seek out the business coaching with the Regional Economic Development or Missouri Women's Business Center, and we can get them on their way to become a part of the Shops at Sharp End. We look forward to making the space sustainable for the next generations of entrepreneurs to come. And we also look forward to have the Shops at Sharp End available for community events. We offer an event form for anyone interested in having their small group event in our space, and look forward to community members and businesses to utilize the Shops at Sharp End for their next event. So if that's something that the Muleskinners is looking forward to, definitely go to our website, theshopsatsharpend.com, and sooner than later we'll have the event form on that website, so you can just fill it out, and I will be sure to contact you all. We want to thank you so much for your time today. Do we have any questions?
Pretty short.
I've got a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
One, I was looking at the Muleskinner link where we find out about where we were promoting today's event, today's meeting. It said you all from the Missouri Women's Business Center, CMCA, but I probably missed. What is the CMCA?
So I can talk to that. So Central Missouri Community Action is CMCA, and the Missouri Women's Business Center is a program of Central Missouri Community Action. And we're the ones that actually applied for and received the grant from Boone County ARPA funds to be able to bring in the staffing for the Shops at Sharp End. So we work in conjunction with Ready in the downtown district to bring this whole project together. But the staffing piece is our piece that we bring to the table.
Second question, it looks like I know I wasn't able to make the grand your opening before, but it looks like these are all retail things. Are there any services, barbershops, some of the sort of stuff that was there before, or do you anticipate having any of those in the near future?
So this really is a retail incubator.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
all about the retail industry. And that's why, the downtown district is a part of that, is because they want to see retail space, and vendors come to downtown areas. We do offer business coaching through the Women's Business Center for any type of small business that you're wanting to open. So if you have a service-based business, we are more than happy to meet with you and talk through those steps. But the Shops at Sharp End is really focused on retail incubator.
The only third question I've got at this point, and I'll let Sue, well, it was my wife's suggestion. This event space you've got, Muleskinners meets in person once a month. And right now we're just renting the Boone County Democratic office to kind of squeeze us all in. Is this sort of thing that you have open, is it just for businesses, or is it for social groups or groups like ours? And how much would it cost to, if it's allowed for us to be there? What are the charges for having it for a couple of hours over a first Friday of the month or something?
So we do offer the semi-private area, which is our mezzanine area, and it's kind of up before. So this is on the corner of 5th and Walnut. It was the Thai restaurant for many years. Como Cooks was in it most recently, and then now we've turned it into the Shops at Sharp End. So I'm not sure if you know right where I'm talking about, but there at the corner of 5th and Walnut, it has an upper mezzanine area. And so again, it's semi-private, so it's not a private space that we can block off, but there are stairs or the elevator outside that we can get folks to, and you can have receptions or meetings or whatever up there. I would say that's not something that we could do monthly, but it's definitely something we could do on an occasion. And currently it's free and to be able to use the space. Are there any other questions?
along that line, is there any big space up on the second floor, or is it all just kind of narrow areas?
I mean, it's not a large space by any means, but it definitely could accommodate, like, 20, 25 people up there. There are a few table and chairs up there. There's a couch up there. So can be comfortable, but it's definitely not a space where you could put more than like 25 people.
Okay. And I believe, yeah, okay. My other question, I was there for the opening, and that was a fun event, and you have quite a wide variety of things, and I think particularly there needs to be incubators for some of the African-American businesses, because they were particularly hurt. But in addition, I've lived here in Columbia long enough and knew the woman that first had the first business, woman-owned business downtown. The candy factory, Georgia Lundgren, opened up, and she had difficulty getting loans and things like that. They'd only let her get a loan if her husband co-signed it, and so the history has made it hard for women sometimes, and so I'm glad you're supporting both.
Yeah.
Got a question from. Sorry.
I'm just gonna respond to that a little bit. So the Women's Business Center is provided through the SBA. We have a grant through the SBA, and we've received that for the last 8 years.
The Small Business Association, you mean?
Yeah, the Small Business Administration provides, and so there's 160 women's business centers across the country. And so we really focus on women. We serve everyone, but we focus on women to make sure that they do have the same availability to financing and education and things like that around small businesses. We have an amazing program called Kiva, and it is a 0 interest loan. And we can sit down and really work with women to walk through that application and what that would look like for them to help remove those barriers into finding finance.
Well, and certainly the Como Gives has done a wonderful job of letting different small business operations get a start on and maybe just continue.
Yeah, thank you.
I meant Como Cooks.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
we work in conjunction with Como Cooks as well. Yes.
When?
I was wondering how you advertise especially to the Black community. Do you know people throughout the Black community that are likely entrepreneurs that would be interested in this? What do you do to rehab? Do you go to the churches? What do you do?
Well, we have a flyer that goes out on the Missouri Women's Business Center newsletter weekly. We have reached out. I personally know a lot of Black entrepreneurs myself, and I've been encouraging them to come in. We do events, and then we get people that just walk in because they're hearing about it with all of the press and media that we've been receiving since the opening, and they come in on their own and inquire about it. So yes, we have reached out to any and all Black entrepreneurs that I am aware of and I know of, and I give them the information necessary to get started with becoming a part of the Shops at Sharp End. So
Good.
And since Tanisha is a part of the Missouri Women's Business Center,
Yes, you have a sign on the corner. What street does this storefront or whatever it is open onto? What street is it?
Well, we have 2 entrances actually. So we have an entrance on 5th Street, and we also have an entrance on Walnut. So
Corner property, okay.
Yes, it's a corner property, yes, and actually where the parking garage sits at the corner where the Shops at Sharp End is located was the actual corner of the Sharp End, and there was a business there also. So
All right, thank you.
Got a question from the chat from Kathy Jensen. Are all of your current vendors from Columbia?
Yes, yes. Currently, everybody that is enrolled in the program is in the city limits of Columbia.
And I guess I can follow that. Is that a requirement, or is there open to more people than that?
It is not a requirement, but it is definitely something we focus on for them to be a Boone County resident, since this is a grant that provides the staffing for this program through the Boone County government.
I guess I've got another question. Are there things to purchase there now?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There have been things to purchase since December 15th.
Okay.
And so they actually load in new product on Tuesdays if they have it. A lot of their products are handmade. So it takes them some time to get inventory ready to bring back into the shop for me. But there's products, and we have plenty of things to look at and items to purchase.
And what days and hours are you open?
We are open Wednesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays are my day that I do office work and try to get everything prepared and handled for the shop. And I do Zoom meetings and things like that for my personal growth, as well as for the Women's Business Center.
And is that second level mezzanine area, can it be shut off at all for sound, or?
No, that's why it's considered semi-private.
Yeah, it's semi-private. So it opens up to the actual retail space on the bottom level of the shop.
Okay.
All right. It looks like Catherine has her hand raised.
Yeah, I directed it in chat to you, and I thought that was a mistake because it hasn't been asked, but I'm curious as to how Sharp End got its name. What is the significance of it, if there is any, and is it named after anybody?
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm finished.
Oh, the Sharp End got its name because it's an homage to the actual Sharp End. As I stated before, there were actually Black-owned businesses right there at the corner where the retail incubator space sits. And so that's how they came up with the name. And it's what we named the program also. So that's how it got its name, because that is the original Fifth. The corner of Walnut and Fifth is originally the Sharp End of Columbia, Missouri.
Well, I wasn't asking about
the reason why it was Sharp End is because the Black community was expected to dress sharply whenever they would be out and about in that business community area.
For heaven's sakes. Okay. That's what I didn't get earlier, and thank you.
Alice?
All right, Alice.
My question is, we have lots of big community events in Columbia, and one of them's coming up, Earth Day, where I don't know, 100 vendors are there with their wares. Will there be a certain section, or will people identify themselves as being part of the Sharp End project when we go and shop there?
So, I mean, that is totally up to each individual participant. Some of them will be proudly displaying that they are a vendor at the Shops at Sharp End, and others, maybe don't associate with that as much. A lot of the small businesses that currently have inventory at the shops, they do those other markets like what you're referring to. And so sometimes they will, you know, wear that as like a badge of honor. And then other times they maybe don't identify with that as much. But
Okay,
it's up to
thanks.
them. Uh-huh.
It might be something you might want to raise with them for that event, because for me, you know, I can only buy for 4 or 5. I already have a lot of jewelry and a lot of whatever. But if I see the sharp end sign, I might be more inclined to participate at that vendor.
We'll definitely suggest that
Yeah,
to them. I think that's a great idea and appreciate you bringing that to our attention.
Sure. I used to do marketing. Thank
Oh,
you.
there you go.
Nonprofit marketing. Thank you.
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you. Okay, Sue?
Yeah, I would say for those that haven't been to your operation there on which is across from the post office, not where you go in, but the end where you drive through to put your mail in the box, and it's across from Tony's Pizza. So that helps you to locate where it is.
Yes.
Have a wide variety of items. There, if you're looking for children's things, they had some, well, it couldn't be just children, but they had some adorable knitted. I've never seen, or maybe they're crocheted, I don't know which, but there were some mushrooms that were adorable. And I asked a teenage girl what she liked. Well, there were other things there like dinosaurs and other things, but she said she liked the mushrooms that had the red and white tops on them, and they were white otherwise. And then there was also a display, I think it was mostly books, but it may have also had a few toys. Somebody is making some long dresses and fairly formal wear. That was a nice selection. There was the clothing, the turmeric woman that has things at the farmer's market. She was there. And so the thing is, it's easier to get into than the farmer's market for those of us older. And really, there was such a nice range of things. And if you were going to have well, you guess you're not renting it out, but where they served some drink and cookies up on the
landing level. Yes, ma'am.
The stepped area. And that was a nice, you kind of have that as at this point until you don't have a whole 40 exhibitors. You have that for space that you can use for gatherings.
Follow-up question, Sue, you said, or maybe I misunderstood. Did you say their little thing, the shops at Sharp End, it's easier to get into than the farmer's market?
In the sense, well, yes, because you don't have to very far from the door. I mean, for somebody like me that has a hard time getting in and out of things, that was really easy to get into.
Okay, because there's street parking right out front. Is that
right?
What you're saying?
Right.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Any other questions?
Tanisha, any additional offerings from entrepreneurs?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're cutting out a little bit.
Breaking up, Kathy, if you could type it in chat.
While she's typing there, Dave Taylor put another question in chat. It was the video that you showed earlier. Is that available for online so other people can view, and we can put it in the announcements, so our members, anyone getting our announcements, will be able to see that and click on it to be able to watch it clearer than we can over Zoom.
Yeah, so on the shopsatsharpen.com website, there is the video, and there's also a nice article that was written, and it's probably like 50 pages or a little less than that you can read, that has a lot of details as well.
Okay, I don't see Kathy's question. So I guess thank you very much for the presentation. Sounds interesting. We're looking forward to visiting.
I look forward to seeing you all. I appreciate having us today, and I look forward for you all to come in and check it out. As I said, I'm working on more vendors, and I'm just excited about this whole project and program. Miss Alice, go ahead.
Yeah, so we are Democrats, and we like to encourage people to vote. And so what would be the opportunities for us working with you, or to have a voter registration table there? You know, March 23rd is the presidential primary, reminding people of that by having voter cards there. You know, we have an important municipal election with lots of issues, from freezing property tax to seniors to city council candidates to school board candidates, all affect the community. What would be those kinds of opportunities that you feel like we could participate in? Or perhaps you already do voter registrations through CMCA, I don't know.
So what I would encourage you to do is to fill out the form that will be on the website shortly. That would be for an event. I would say that we try to stay anti-political completely, just because we serve, you know, folks from both sides and, you know, all backgrounds and things like that. But you would be more than we would be more than happy to have you host your event there at the shops at Sharp End. And so then you could promote that you were at the shops at Sharp End for your events. We of course would need to, you know, take that to the managing partners and things like that for approval, but you know, that's
I
definitely
think
something.
probably voter registration would be what we'd be initially most interested in, and that is very much it, even though we're doing it, it's a nonpartisan thing. It's like, get registered to vote, change your address. And what would be the best time to have that, on a Saturday, or when would there be more people likely to be there? And when would some of the
well, I would say Saturday is probably going to be the busiest day. As I stated, we are only open Wednesday through Saturday, so 4 days out of the week. Typically during the week we get customers in, but it is a little bit less busy. So Friday or Saturday would be the day that I would say would be more, you'd have more traffic flow.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then I see that Catherine, you asked me to detail other offerings in addition to what Sue mentioned. We have, as she said, raw roots. Sue kind of almost named a little bit of everybody. We have Maya's Gourmet Popcorn also in the space. We have the crocheted items that she was speaking of is a husband and wife small business owner called Idrisil Seller. We have our books. We have a local author. His name is Aaron Fox. And he has the plush items that she was describing and the 4 different titles of books that he's written. And then we also have Ren's Blends, which is a seasoning company. Well, he has food seasonings. And he also is a part of the downtown district. He's a barber actually by trade, and he sells seasonings as a small business as well. So all of his seasonings are in the shops at Sharp End, and we get lots of repeat customers coming back for those. Let's see, we have Frankie Carmen. That's our formal wear that Sue was speaking of. And we have Candace Holsizer, which is the owner of Black Tea Bookshop. You all may have seen her in newspaper articles and on magazines and on TV doing interviews here recently. She is the owner of the Black Tea Bookshop, and she has books for all ages written by Black authors. So she's in the shop as well.
Yeah, and there's candles, there's makeup, there's clothing apparel, there's books, there's home decoration items, there's earrings, there's keychains. I mean, you name it, and it's in there in the shops. It definitely is something that you just need to come and experience and see what all is there. It's always changing. So each month we add new participants to the program. So as they come in, they bring their inventory, and it's all a little bit different. Tanisha does a great job of moving the show floor around so that you can come in and see that. It's always, you know, interesting to see, oh, they brought a new product and we're going to, you know, promote that one, or there's a sale going on right now on some of the vendors' items. And so those are right up front. And so it's been a lot of fun to really just see what these participants come in with and their inventory. And again, we're always open to new participants joining us. So.
Yes, Miss Sue.
Just another thing. Do you also have the vendors work there at the store sometimes so that
Yes,
they're
ma'am.
learning some skills on actually meeting the public and that sort of thing? Is that
Yes,
part?
ma'am.
So you're the only paid staff, but the others are the ones that are getting the advantage of being in the store.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. They actually are required to work 4 hours a week in the shop. So you'll typically come in and you'll definitely see me, but you'll also see at least one, sometimes two actual participants that have product in the shop. So they are there to help me. They're there to learn retail skills. They're there to engage with the community and actually introduce their products into the community as people come in to shop.
Well, and I mean, they do things like clean the toilet because
Yeah.
that's something that a shop owner needs to know how to do, but they learn how to run the cash register. They learn how to count down the drawer. They learn how to merchandise items on a table and what that looks like. And why would you hang your clothes on the hangers all the same direction and all of those things. That's all part of the program. So being a part of the program is really, you know, we push that for them to do that because we know that those skills are something that need to be learned if you're going to open your own business.
So it's not just a chance to see how your products are sell among people, but it's really a learning situation, which is
Yes,
excellent.
that is definitely the intent for the program. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much for being here, and best of luck with the project. It sounds like it's going to do well.
Awesome. Thank
It's
you
been
guys
doing
so
well.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
You all
much.
have a great day.
So we can begin our regular meeting, and we do have one item of business in addition to announcements and any